Hi guys, so today I'm going to be covering off certain topics around what needs to be included in a designer's portfolio. I've spoken to many industry experts and hiring managers about what they believe needs to be included, so today I'm going to be showing you a detailed description of what needs to be included. Now, I've seen many portfolios over my time. I'm not a professional designer in any sense of the word. I'm certainly not creative enough to do that. However, I have spoken to many industry experts and hiring managers as to what they're specifically looking for in portfolios to assess whether this particular designer is right for their team. Now, first point I wanted to make, I think it's expected as a designer that you make your portfolio look amazing. You guys are very creative people, and making things look beautiful on the screen is part of a massive part of your role. So make sure that the portfolio looks and presents very well. One thing I would mention is make sure you check for spelling in your portfolio and CV. Grammar, although not the most important thing, a lot of your role is based on attention to detail. Now, a common thing I see with portfolios is that there are many projects highlighted on the portfolio, some potentially 10 years old, depending on the seniority of the person I'm working with. Now, a common theme that I've heard from hiring managers is that they don't really care too much about how many projects are in your portfolio. It's much more about the detail in there. So my best advice would be to highlight the best 1 or 2 projects you've ever worked on, or the most recent 1 or 2 projects that you've worked on, so that you keep your experience relevant and the hiring manager can understand what your current skill set is. Now, from portfolios, what I see a lot of is just really nice design work. I can certainly see that people have the skill set to achieve what they want to achieve and what jobs they want to get. However, a lot of it is just screenshots of particular projects they've worked on, or particular screens that they have made. Now, although they look great, as a hiring manager, they have no understanding of what went into designing those screens. So from start to finish, in the 1 or 2 case studies that you're going to be presenting, make sure you have a detailed, thorough breakdown of the full process from start to finish. So that's from discovery phase all the way through to the finished design at the end of it. I would advise at the start of it to highlight what projects you were working on, the team structure and the team size, so that the hiring manager can get an understanding of who was involved and how you collaborated with those particular people. Again, similar to the CV, I think it's important that you highlight individual contributions and team contributions, but I would always remain focused on your individual contributions, more so because they are hiring you as an individual as opposed to hiring your team. Again, going back to something that I mentioned on the CV, the star format can be very effective in your portfolio, as it brings a very clear and structured way of displaying how the design process worked there. So try and utilize that as much as possible throughout the process. It's not possible in every part of the process. However, it will be relevant to a lot of the design process. Now, something really common that I've heard from hiring managers at the moment is that a detailed breakdown of the process is great. However, a lot of the time, designers will paint a perfect picture of how that process went, when hiring managers definitely understand that it wasn't a perfect process and things might have gone wrong throughout the process that you tried and didn't necessarily work out. So I think it's very important to always ask yourself the question, so what, or why? Why did you make these decisions? What was these decisions based off of? Was it based off data? Was it based off existing knowledge? Was it based off things that you tried and didn't necessarily work out? Always be asking yourself these questions. Another key point to make here is always highlight what you learned from each part of the process, or key parts of that process, and certainly at the end, things that you might have tried that didn't work out. What did you learn from that, and what did you take forwards with you? At the end of the project, what was the end result, and what did you learn? What did you do in the future? What will you do in the future, knowing what you know now? So thanks very much for watching the video on what to include in your portfolio. If you haven't already, go and check out my previous video regarding what to include in your CV. But thanks for watching, and tune in for more content later down the line.